KABUL, more than half the population of Afghanistan, a record 22.8 million people, will face acute food insecurity from November, a union aid organization said on Monday. This data regarding acute hunger was revealed in a new report issued by Integrated Food Security Phase Classification (IPS), by the Food Security and Agriculture Cluster of Afghanistan, co-led by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the Union and the Union World Food Programme (DOEF). A DOEF release stated that the combined impacts of drought, conflict, COVID-19, and the economic crisis have severely affected lives, livelihoods, and people's access to food. The report's findings come as Afghanistan's harsh winter looms, threatening to cut off areas of the country where families desperately depend on humanitarian assistance to survive the freezing winter months. The IPS report has found that more than 1 in 2 Afghans will be facing crisis or emergency levels of acute food insecurity through November 2021 to March 2022 lean season, requiring urgent humanitarian interventions to meet basic food needs, protect livelihoods and prevent a humanitarian catastrophe. The report also notes that this is the highest number of acutely food insecure people ever recorded in the 10 years the Union has been conducting IPS analyses in Afghanistan. Globally, Afghanistan is home to one of the largest number of people in acute food insecurity in both absolute and relative terms. It is urgent that we act efficiently and effectively to speed up and scale up our delivery in Afghanistan before winter cuts off a large part of the country, with millions of people, including farmers, women, young children and the elderly, going hungry in the freezing winter. It is a matter of life or death. We cannot wait and see humanitarian disasters unfolding in front of us. It is unacceptable, said Kudanju, FAO Director General. Afghanistan is now among the world's worst humanitarian crises, if not the worst, and food security has all but collapsed. This winter, millions of Afghans will be forced to choose between migration and starvation unless we can step up our life-saving assistance, and unless the economy can be resuscitated. We are on a countdown to catastrophe, and if we don't act now, we will have a total disaster on our hands, said David Beasley, DOEF Executive Director. Hunger is rising and children are dying. We can't feed people on promises. Funding commitments must turn into hard cash, and the international community must come together to address this crisis, which is fast spinning out of control, Beasley warned. The IPS report reflects a 37% increase in the number of Afghans facing acute hunger since the last assessment issued in April 2021, DOEF said. Among those at risk of 3.2 million children under 5 who are expected to suffer from acute malnutrition by the end of the year. In October, DOEF and UNICEF warned that 1 million children were at risk of dying from severe acute malnutrition without immediate life-saving treatment. Adblock test why.